All right, so whenever I'm meeting a family and we're talking about communication, I like to point out just how complicated communication is. And it can be different for different reasons, but this is what I keep drawing over and over again for so many different families. The first thing a child needs to, or an adult, but we'll just talk about kids at this time, it's the same process. You have to be able to read the situation. Now that might be a thought like, I'm hungry. Or maybe it's something like, I want that toy. Or maybe it's something like, I want to get my mom's eyes because I want her to look at me. So whatever the thing is that you want, you have to kind of read the situation. And then you have to figure out what you want to say, how you want to say it, and what not to say. And most important of all, you have to be able to predict a result and understand the link between this. So when people are first doing speech therapy, often what we're doing is trying to make this really clear. So you bounce a kid on your knee, you stop, and the kid reaches out or looks at you or taps you or signs more, and something really cool happens right away. Or maybe you're using the picture exchange communication system and someone's teaching you, if I take this picture and I hand it to someone else of a biscuit will arrive. Or maybe you're using sign, and if I say again, I get the swing pushed again. Or maybe it's with just a sound, and I say ee, and my mom goes ee, and it's hilarious because for whatever reason that appeals to the child. So it can be sounds, it can be words, it can be whatever. So obviously one of the very important things is noticing that I can make something happen. I can make a person do something, and I can start guessing what would happen. And then you can start playing around with it. If I do something a little different, do I get something else? If I do something else, do I get something else? Sometimes people will use ABA to help make this link really clear. But it's really important that we go beyond that. I'm just going to erase that for 1 second. So while that is important but not enough, you have to also start learning about the how. That could be something like learning about tone of voice. Even if someone doesn't have words yet, there's a difference between going like ee and ee to request. So sometimes someone will do something and I understand what they mean and I react to it and I show them that connection, but then sometimes I'll just give them something that they can imitate. And if they do that instead, I'll also give them that. If someone's doing something I don't particularly love as their way of requesting, like maybe they discovered the word for going outside is banging on the door really loudly, or they drop things or they throw things instead of saying I don't want them. So if they're dropping something or throwing something and it's not the right time, then I try to think of something that's as easy and as effective to get the same reaction. So obviously if what they're doing is they scream and they throw something and that goes away, I can't say, how about instead you say, could you please remove that from the table? That's too many words, it's too hard. So I might instead just have them push something away, and I immediately say, okay, we're going to go from throwing to a gentle push away, and that will be your new what instead of this. Now, to really be successful, we have to bring this piece in. We have to start helping someone read the situation. Now, for some people, that's all we're doing is a lot of think alouds. Oh, look, Dad's over there at the fridge. We could say to Dad, ice cream, please. And he might give us ice cream. So we're actually just talking this through out loud and pointing things out. We can also make things more visually clear. So if this is a situation where you can ask for something, maybe I put a picture of that out so that reminds them of what to do. Maybe I do some demonstrations where I go and do the entire journey several times through. So I go up at McDonald's and I say, chips please, and then the chips appear. And I've seen the whole thing. Now if someone's not good at waiting, maybe it's something as simple as I go at the table and I say, milk? and someone pours me more milk. And then I do it again, milk, and someone pours me more milk. And the whole time the child's watching that and starting to go, aha, this plus this seems to lead to this. But when she said a different word, something else happened. And in all of this, it doesn't matter if I'm using spoken words or signs or picture. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the idea of in this situation, if I do this like this can happen. And I can hold that over time. I'm starting to be able to imagine this in my head and then go, okay, I have a plan to get to here. And that's when you start having some really strong communication. So that's the communication equation. Shannon Hennig from Inclusive Communication, if you have any questions. Thanks.